There's got to be a better way. Well, it turns out there is a better way to make a square hole. If I just had one hole to make, that'd be fine. I could use a file, square file, but I need to make about 60 of these for the vehicle. So, come up with a broach. So this is a 1/4 inch square broach. Starts out as round, push it through the material, finishes as a square. So let's see how that's done. So these are the fasteners I'll be using. This is a 1/4 20 carriage bolt, or step bolt is actually called. This has a zinc finish, a little brighter, so you can see better on the camera. It has a square obviously under the head there, so that will hold the bolt in place, and you won't need a wrench on it while you work the nut on the threaded side. 1/4 20 step bolt. Step bolt has a larger diameter head on it than a normal carriage bolt. This one. So these are round, and the wood has been drilled, so we don't need that round hole anymore, so it's time to square it up. And it should look something or exactly like these once I've used the broach and squared up these holes for the bracket. And the finished product, of course, looks something or exactly like that. Alright, so now that these holes are drilled through the wood, we'll go ahead and take the bracket off this machine and square up those holes. Okay, so here we go. So we've done these 3 already, and so we need to size these to the correct pilot size and then run the broach through them. So what we're using is this 1/4 inch broach, and how it works is one end is round, that's our 1/4 inch hole, plus or minus, and then as we push it through we end up with a 1/4 inch square hole as we finish through. Takes a little cut each time and it gets more square until it exits through. So before we square up the hole, it requires, it's written right on the end of it, 17/64. So let's go ahead and run that pilot drill, make sure we've got the correct size before we run this broach through. Normally one would use an arbor press for this operation, but we've got this old drill press and it's been working fine, so we'll continue to use that. And you got to dance with the girl you brought. Got busy on the lathe, turned up this little button, so that'll get chucked up into the chuck, and that will help hold this broach steady as it descends into the work. So, alright, let's get started on that. Gives a good surface to press on. Okay, so we've already drilled the pilot, so in with the round hole. You can index this however you like, so may as well square it up. Alright, let's give it a go. To catch the broach as it comes through. There we go. Lots of little chips, and we've got a nice square hole. Let's go ahead and get the other one. Alright, so we've got two perfect 1/4 inch holes, right? Well, not so fast. Fortunately, our step bolt does not quite fit into that square hole, so we're going to have to do a little bit of adjusting there. So what's going on here? Let's take the mic, measure what sort of a hole we ended up with here. Looks like maybe 247, something like that. Take a look at our perfect 1/4 inch broach here. See what it actually measures out to be. 246, 247 and change, 248. Yeah. And of course, let's take a look at our bolt that we need to have flush in our bracket. Looks like it's a little bit more than 1/4 inch. We got 255. 255. Right, so the broach has gotten us real close and saved a lot of time. That's great, but didn't quite get us there. So let's hit it with the file and get a better fit there. Much nicer. And I think that'll do it. Good. Let's take care of this one and bolt it up to the truck. It's not quite there. Get a little more. Alright, so we're okay laterally. Just want to go take a little off that bottom edge. Rather they not be too tight. Yeah, just right. Alright, fits up good. We'll throw a couple of square nuts on there. And next up is to take this back off and do some finish work on it. So what we'll do is we'll heat it up in the forge and then throw some Johnson's wax on it. Gives a nice blackened finish and protects it from the weather. So that's up next. So that is the progress for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.